Good afternoon, folks. Warp103 bringing another video. This time here we are bringing the FL10 Tier 6 Medium that's supposed to be in the loot box. So you have my thoughts in just a minute, so sit back, relax, and of course, enjoy the show.
I'm gonna have to rain down a godly firestorm on you.
And thank you for viewing this video. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the icon above, and then of course hitting the bell icon to get notifications when the next video drops. So here we go. All right, folks, the next tank on the list is the FL10. Is a France medium tank, and again we're going to talk about it as an autoloader. It's going to be in the Santa loot boxes. Another video is going to be upcoming after this, and that's going to be covering the other tank that's inside the loot box. Again, I can't give you any details on that until it's done, but you know, I've talked about it yesterday. I told you I couldn't give any details, but we'll see. You'll see it when it comes up. So let's talk about this tank here. Now basically it looks like two tanks in one. Like somebody took the neck and head off of the AMX, threw it on this tank here and said, you know what, that'll be good. Yeah, no. No. Why? All right, now I'm going to show you that there's a tank that's straight up and down comparable to it, and that is the Strv. Basically, I'm going to call it the 57. They're straight up and down comparable. Both autoloaders, both of them have a clip size. It's just, you can mix and match these tanks and see which one you actually want. Now, looking at the stats, objective, plane up and down, all three of the tanks you're seeing here, again, the Strv and the Skoda, and this tank here, all gold tanks. Look at the DPM of the new tank. 1,424. Crap. That's 200 less than the Strv, 500 less than the Skoda. Okay, but it's not all about that. Of course not. Look at the penetration. The Strv wins hands down. Damage, Strv wins hands down. You know, clip damage. Now you can put the damage out faster with the FL10, but the overall damage again is better with the Strv. The interclip reload, again, I love short interclip reloads. The smaller interclip reload it is, it's always good, but it still doesn't stand up to the other tank. Now, ammo capacity, again, I do hand it to it that it has 72 ammo capacity, better than the Strv. Trust me, I've ran out of ammo in the Strv in late game situations, so that extra 12 ammo is going to be great. Still not as great as the Skoda. So again, its potential damage is better than the Strv. That, again, in late game is huge. I have to give it to him. Aim time is actually pretty dang good. I love that and everything else. That the problem is this dispersion. 0.36 dispersion is worse than both the Skoda and the Strv. Now, on dispersion on the move is way better. Of course, we love dispersion on the move and everything else. That makes the tank feel more comfortable when you actually need to, you know, somebody comes around the corner and you can snap them and everything else like that. The gun depression and everything else, that the firing damage, all are on track with the Strv, which is great. A little bit lacking on the elevation compared to the Skoda, but again, it has a little bit better numbers after firing than the Skoda, but a little bit worse on the transverse speed than the Skoda. Now, speed. Okay. This is faster than the Strv. The problem I always had with the Strv was its speed. It's usually the reason. That's the reason why I actually run the Strv with a turbocharger to fix the issue that it has with the speed. Because the engine power on the FL10 is good. You can get around the map. The power to weight ratio again makes it feel good when you get around the map until you get to the terrain resistances. Why the soft stats literally nerf the terrain resistances down to where the Skoda's in, I have no idea. When you actually drive in the tank, I'm not talking about when you're at the top speed. When you're actually driving it down, maneuverability wise and everything else that, on level ground, trying to get to a location, everything else that, the STRV feels a little bit better. Until you're in a situation where you're in certain terrain things, then from there the STRV is just, since its lack of engine power, it doesn't have the maneuverability to turn when it needs to, especially if you're trying to whip around on somebody and everything else like that. It doesn't exactly do that. But I'm talking about speed wise, like going forward, backward and everything else that, it feels about the same as the STRV. Maneuverability, but when you're actually turning the tank and everything else that, it does feel a lot better than the STRV. Then we go with the armor. STRV's armor is better on the front, on the turret. It's because of the way the angles actually shape out is actually better. On the side, this, you know, it's going to get pinned on the side either way it go. Track armor in the STRV, sorry, on the FL10 is better than the STRV. Health is better. Again, this is something you wish. 30 health doesn't sound like a lot, but that's enough for you to survive situations that the STRV won't survive in. The engine health is the other thing, so that the STRV engine goes out all the time, but again, this does not match the Skoda. So again, when you're taking the FL10 against the Skoda and everything else, that the Skoda armor health is a little bit lower, but engine health and everything else, so that feels a hell of a lot better. Then you go down to the camo. This is, the FL10 is a huge boy, because again, even though you stole a turret off of the a smally boy and put it on this big chassis, yeah, his camo is trash. This thing gets spotted a lot easier than the SRV and the Skoda all the time, even after firing or on the move. This is bad. Now the view range is pretty good compared to the, again, STRV. It's the same as a Skoda, and the fire chance is a little bit better. Shell cost, you can make some credits with this. Now overall, the thing of it is like that, if you already have the STRV, again, this is something that you could have gotten from Tank Rewards for just playing the game. This is something that's going to be inside of the loot boxes. That in and of itself, meaning you have to pay money for one, or one that you get normally, most people have already gotten free. Why would you put this in the loot box? It just doesn't make any sense. This should have been this is it again. All right, folks, so we're basically going to end it right here. Basically, what I think is that it's just mediocre. I mean, last year was way better. I think that this year it's not really worth it, but it's all up to you. Well, this is Warp103 saying warp out, have fun, we'll catch you on the next one, and of course please click the like, subscribe button. It really helps you turn out. Until then, we'll catch you later. Now I'm going to show you a battle inside of it. I'm not going to take too much time with just taking everything else. I'm just going to tell you straight up and down, the STRV just does better, because just the DPM alone and everything else and the damage per shot, it just trades better. It overall trades better. It's just one of those things that the trade value inside of this makes it feel much better. The clip reload time, again, the reload time is 2 seconds better. The STRV just trades better. The Skoda trades better. But let's go to the video. Take a look for yourself, and I'll let you guys decide. Now, I didn't go over the armor model with this because literally it has no armor. I mean, think about it. You know, you're facing tier 6s, your armor is not really going to hold up, and this thing sees tier 8s, where we already know for sure the armor is not going to hold up whatsoever. Now, I just wanted to show you the speed on level ground. You know, 36, you know, ish is probably the amount, and this is with the rotation mechanic. Because again, I'm not going to show you the garage. I really don't think that I need to, but this has ventilation, rotation mechanic, of course, everything else, and you can't have a rammer because it's an auto loader. So, you know, you want to put on things on so that's going to make sure that it's going to give it the maximum You want to basically the gun to feel the snappiest, to basically feel the best. Now you can see the reload time is on the longer side and everything else. Now this time here, I actually put a leftover crew that I had like that somewhere like that, so it only has 2 skills. Actually, no, it has 1 skill on it, and the other one's not fully done. Now again, the gun is just not snappy enough to actually say, well, I'm gonna go all the way out. So I'm playing it cautiously. I'm playing it like, okay, because again, you see guys like that. You see guys like the KV2 and stuff like that, and you know goodness well, if the KV2 shoots you, you're gonna feel so bad when you're eliminated from the game instantaneously. So yeah. That's why I didn't show up. Most of the time I usually show the armor profile, show it how it works and everything else. In this case here, it's just no need for it. You're not going to survive long enough if you literally get shot by, Now again, the gun is just not as snappy. And for the weak spots, again, you got to look for the weak spots because again, not using gold. I don't use gold when I first do my things and everything else. Without using an epic crew, without using full gold, this tank is meh. It's a low tier pooper. Again, you have 2 other gold tanks that literally eclipse it in every other way. Now as a crew trainer, no, the layout is just not really encompassing being a great crew trainer and everything else. And plus, you have better tanks that you can do it in at higher tiers. So, I mean, if you're new to the game and you're trying to get a tank and everything else today, and you want to go down this line, okay, then I say, okay, well, then that makes sense. But the tank overall is not going to be the greatest tank in the world. Again, I'm shooting at it basically nearly stationary target from that distance and still wasn't able to, finish him off. Spotted. Okay. Now let's look at the mobility again. Now again, I get the rotation mechanic on this level, so it makes the rotate a little bit better, make sure that the gun is a little bit more snappy and stuff like that, so that way there you won't be sitting there like, you want to take everything you can to make sure that this tank works significantly better. Now again, this is a hard surface. You see it's getting up to about 48, 49, 50s. It pops up for a quick second. So I'm gonna give it a 48, 49 to go in. Again, this is your fastest speed. This is with the rotation mechanic. This is everything that can be going for you to make this tank actually work. And artillery, hey, and now you see what happens when artillery smacks you. If he literally would have pinned me and everything else, that most likely and stuff like that, I probably would have been out of the game. Can you do significant damage with this if you do bursting somebody from behind? Yes. Is this a good tank? I call it it's player. If it fits your play style, it's going to be you'll love it and everything else like that. But the most I can say is so that would I actually pick this out of the other 3 premium tanks? Sorry, would I pick this out of the other 3 premium tanks? Meaning that if I have this available, the Strv or the Skoda, I'm picking the Strv or the Skoda. It's a pretty simple choice. It's third best, in a sea of tanks that are out there in tiers. Well, guys, thank you for watching. Please hit the like, subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. Until then, this is Warp103 saying have fun. Catch you later. Get in the loot box and everything else like that. And I know a lot of people are going to get this because it's usually how your luck works. So, again, is it a bad tank? No. Is it a great tank? No. Is it playable? Yes, it's a very playable tank. I feel this tank is in the right person's hands. It will turn out to be a very good tank. If you have 4 or 5 skilled pools on the side of it, it probably can come up to a level of saying, oh, I can really do some real damage to it. But versus tier 8, oof, unless you're shelling out those gold shells, I don't feel it. But that's my feeling on everything else of that. You're entitled to your own opinion. You'll get it, and then you'll play it, and hopefully you put up a video of your own. Well, this is Warp103 saying warp out, have fun. We'll catch you in the next one. Of course, please hit that like, subscribe button. It really helped the channel out. I forgot which instruction is, but it really helped the channel out. Until then, warp out. Catch you later. Did Ray go with Mom? Did you just choke yourself? Yes, you did. Tell Ray he can watch his video while Mom's going, so he can have some time to watch it. I got done what I needed to get done.